you for tuning in. Thanks for being part of our program. Here we are together again on the radio. We're at studios of CBS in New York City. And I am here because I've got a lot of business to take care of. That's all. We are not on a radio station in New York City. We do not have a radio station to go to. And I am here to do some personal business. And I was born here. I grew up here. I ran screaming from here 25 years ago. And it's very weird to be standing 46 floors above Times Square, looking out the window here and doing a radio program. Because the vast majority of my radio career has been in Southern California. And that's what I'm used to. I'm used to working in the usual bomb shelter where we do the show. And I'm not used to looking out at the Hudson River, which is very strange. But I'll be back in Los Angeles on Monday, back to what I normally do. Well, I'm still doing what I normally do, but off the air I'll be back to doing what I normally do, whatever that might be. Anyway, this story from a website called iVillage. And it goes like this. When James Douglas Barron's girlfriend wanted to get married, he was, well, afraid. What threw this otherwise brave man into a fit of fear? Simple. He thought long-term commitment would ruin their fun relationship. Now, says this story, now that they are married and happy, James thinks his prenuptial terror couldn't have been more amiss. His book is called She Wants a Ring, and I Don't Want to Change a Thing. In the book, he offers advice to other commitment phobes, and along the way gives women a glimpse into the male psyche. Barron says for a guy, the decision to get married is a series of educated guesses. For some women, not all, it's intuition. That's why it's so terrifying for men. They feel as though they're at sea without a paddle, while women are sailing through the water on course. Here are, this is James's top 10 reasons why men, even your man, may be afraid to get hitched. This from the book, She Wants a Ring, and I Don't Want to Change a Thing. All right, number one, the life sentence, for better or worse. Clank, cell door shut. 2, giving up that dream of tasting the fruits of all nations, flitting from woman to woman in a glorious bath of love and lust. Who wants to give that up? 3, the what-if complex, as in, what if I fall even more in love with another woman? 4, divorce, as in betting on a loser. That's the one I know all about. 5, replicating his parents' failed marriage, or replicating his parents' happy marriage, and one day calling his wife Angel, Sugar Plum, or Doral. 6, surrendering his post as president and CEO of the firm called Fun, then having to answer to a board of directors at a firm called Compromise, fully knowing every decision can come under killjoy scrutiny. 7, becoming an active member in the tamed husband fraternity. 8, the blah life, boredom, over-familiarity, and routine. 9, surrendering quiet, control, space, privacy, watching ESPN all night, poker and suds with the guys, cigar breath, stinky sneakers. And 10, giving up erotic, break-the-guest-room, fold-out couch sex for regulated, you do this, I do that, now let's sleep sex. Now, I look at that list, and I'm saying to myself, this guy is in a happy marriage? This guy just laid out all the good reasons not to get married. These are all the good reasons not to get married. Why would you want to surrender quiet, control, space, privacy, watching ESPN all night, poker, beer. I have that now, and I absolutely love it. I wouldn't give it up for anybody now. I would not give that up. I am happy, happy, happy with the quiet. Happy. I am happy being able to do what I want. And by the way, don't assume that means banging 3 chicks a night. There are times I just want to be alone and enjoy the quiet. And I do. No questions, no answers, no defending my position, nothing. I do a radio show where I defend my position for hours every single night. Do I really need to then come home and engage in a debate with somebody at home? Believe me, I've done it. I can't take it. These are all good reasons not to want to get married. I mean, I read this list off to you, and I'm looking at it going, yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, Why do I want to compromise with somebody? I've always said on this program, the more you have to compromise, the more likely it is you pick the wrong person. What would be wrong with having fun your whole life? I mean, this is the amazing thing. People think there's a time when you're supposed to get serious and stop having all that fun. It's time to grow up. Why? I tried that. You get one life. Why is it necessary to do that? Now, certainly, if you've gotten married and had kids, obviously, you've got to give up an awful lot of fun. But it's not necessary that everybody do that. It's not necessary everybody get married. Not necessary everybody have kids. It's not necessary for everybody to stop having fun and start being more, quote-unquote, responsible. Am I a responsible person? Sure I am. I have a good job. I make good money. I save. I invest. I pay my bills on time. I don't break the law. None of the important ones anyway. You know, but some nights I want to stay up till 4 o'clock in the morning. Some days I want to see somebody's head banging against my headboard. Some days I want to sleep in till 11:30 in the morning. I did that today, by the way. 11:30. Nobody waking me up or telling me it's time to walk the dog or telling me it's time to get up or telling me it's time to go to bed. Why are men so anxious to give up their freedom? And with 1 out of 2 of you ending up getting divorced, all the more reason not to make the mistake in the first place. Right?
Tom Leykis. 1-800-5800-TOM. Tom Leykis.
I would rather lose a testicle than miss your show.
Why, thank you for that.
It's the Tom Leykis Show.
It's the Tom Leykis Show. 1-800-5800-TOM is our telephone number. Dave on the Tom Leykis Show. Hello.
Hello?
Is that a question or a statement?
What's that? Oh, I just wanted to tell you, Tom, I totally agree with what you're saying out there. I'm here in Phoenix, and I made the mistake of getting married young. I mean, I was in the Army, and I was deployed to Saudi Arabia, and I found out that she was messing around the entire time I was gone.
Yeah, I'm listening to you. Hello?
Yeah.
I'm listening to you. Is that the whole story?
Oh, so anyway, I got divorced real young also. I mean, as soon as I got back, I heard from some of my buddies, and I dropped her like a rock, right? And I tried to tell my friends, you know, you get married, you think you're in love. It's just a fog that they have. And once you get married, the fog dries up, you stop getting it, and then you standing there wondering what happened. I mean, I told my buddy this, you know. I tried to tell him, don't buy the cow till you get the milk for free. Once you do, he gets married. What's he doing now? 6 months later, getting a divorce. We just try to tell these boys, you know, Leave it alone.
I've been telling
Walk
the
away.
boys. I've been telling them over and over.
I know, and that's what I'm trying to tell him. Listen to Tom. He'll tell you straight. He ain't going to lie to you. So I don't know what to do. You keep talking. I hear you, and I'm trying to tell him, but nobody listens.
Don't get married again.
Absolutely not. I was going out with a girl for a while. She started talking about it. Boom. Gone.
Perfect.
So, yeah.
You're doing the right thing there, Dave.
Yep. All right, Tom. You take it easy out there.
Thank you for the call. Here's Heather on the Tom Leykis Show. Hello, Heather.
Hey, Tom. How are you today?
Good.
Good. I wanted to say that I absolutely agree with every statement, 1 through 10, on that iVillage list. I don't understand why it seems that it was written from that man's point of view, and pardon me, I'm out of breath, I walked upstairs, as being something good for marriage. And you said something key that I repeated the same time you said it. If it's a compromise, it's not a good relationship. Two people ought to see eye to eye. And marriage,
the more you have to compromise, the more likely it is you pick the wrong person.
well, sure, but if you're compromising constantly, that's an issue. Two people, I've spent 8 years in relationships, 2 of them. And the first one I went running and screaming because he wanted to get married. Well, no, thank you. Why? Relationship is going fine. Why change it? Because as soon as you change something, it doesn't work any longer.
I think the main reason guys decide they want to get married to you it's not because they love you. It's because they don't want you having sex with other guys.
I would agree with that.
You don't agree with that?
No, I do agree with that.
Yeah, I think that's what it boils down to. They think if they marry you, that will stop you from having sex with other guys. And the reality is, you're going to have sex with other guys whether if you want to, and you're not if you don't, whether you're married or not.
The reality is that there's 3 monogamous creatures on this planet, and not one of them is a mammal and certainly not a human being. The archaic notion that 2 people should enjoy having sex with one another for 50-plus years is, maybe it worked, 50 years ago with the state of our country's belief system then, but it certainly doesn't work now. It doesn't even make sense.
It's not necessary.
No, absolutely it's not necessary.
And it just gives lawyers and judges and other people an opportunity to get into your pocket, to interfere in your life, to decide who gets the knives and who gets the forks.
Well, and it's disgusting, these women who divorce men and think that because they spent X many years married to them that they're entitled. No, I'm sorry. You're capable of working. Get out there, work, and make it on your own. That's respectable. Taking your husband for, half of his 401k, taking alimony because, the relationship didn't work? Okay, if he's paying alimony in the amount of $2,000 a month, you should be counterpaying alimony in the amount of $2,000 a month. It should be 50-50, right? Everybody
It never is.
50 game.
It doesn't happen that way.
Well, no, because women want independence. Women want respect in the workplace. Women want to be able to have the jobs that men have, and they can. But what it boils down to is there's still a large percentage of women who really just want to sit home, kick their feet up, eat their bonbons, watch talk shows, whine and cry over Oprah, and then complain to their husbands when they get home from, a 10, 12-hour day of working to put food on the table for, the wife and the 4 kids that they've, had. There's just, it angers me, if you can't tell.
I can tell.
I'm an independent woman. The relationship I ran screaming from, I was 19. I got pregnant at 18, I had my son. We were engaged. Set the wedding date 3 separate occasions. I called it off all 3 times. We split up. He tried to give me child support. Why? We're sharing custody. You have him half the week. I have him half the week. I don't want your money. 50-50. Play the 50-50 game. He bought the ring. He broke up with me, but it was mutual. He hadn't finished paying for the ring. Keep the ring. What do I need the ring for? Right? I mean, that's just my feeling about it.
Well, I understand what you're saying, but, most women who say they're independent also want to get child support, alimony. They don't want to work as many hours as the guy they're with. But they love saying they're independent. So that word always makes me a little nervous. Deanna on the Tom Leykis Show. Hello.
Hey, how's it going?
Great.
Good. Yeah, just calling from Phoenix. Just calling in to just say I totally agree with you, but this is coming from a young woman's point of view. I was just talking to one of your guys on the phone that I'm kind of in a situation now where I live with my boyfriend. We've been together for a year and a half, and we just got in a fight basically over my curiosity about wanting to be with somebody else. And I know that you were talking to this lady about, you know, the only reason why guys basically really want to get married is because they don't want you to be with anybody else. And that's so true because that's basically what he said was like, I can't see you with anybody else, you know, trying to hold on to me.
Well, dear, here's my point to you. If you need to be with other guys, why are you living with him?
Well, because you know what? Like, it was all in the beginning, like, hey, it's a convenience kind of thing. You know, hey, like, we can split the rent.
He thinks you love him, you see. So right off the bat, you've got a misrepresentation here.
And I did, and some part of me does, but I'm being, you know, a wimp about it and just, you know, kind of going along with it. And now it's like, okay, well, from now on, we have to be honest with each other. And, you know, I have to come out and just be honest and be like, hey, you know, I just don't really see us in a long-term relationship. And the fact that I didn't say it before is because I didn't want to hurt his feelings. You know what I'm saying? Like,
dear, you're going to hurt his feelings a lot more when you finally go to bed with one of those guys.
Yeah, and that's the
and
thing.
you're going to do it.
I don't want
to. You know you're going to, right?
Well, you know what? Like, I know myself well enough, maybe sometime along the line, but we just had this, like, conversation argument, you know? But now it's like, what am I supposed to do? I just have to come out and tell him, right? Just
yes,
like,
and
hey.
Get out of there. You need to get out.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, I know that, but it's so much harder, you know what I'm saying?
What's hard?
It's hard because I haven't broken up with anybody since the 8th grade. So to have somebody...
Dear, you're too young to have a serious relationship to begin with.
I know, and now it's all coming to me. It's all coming to me now. It's like, why couldn't I just figure it out ahead of time? And, you know, everyone's getting married, and now I don't want a divorce, you know, so I have to end it. But it's just...
Yes, you have to end it. And you have to do it soon.
I know.
I mean, you realize it doesn't get easier. The longer you're with him, the harder it will be for him when you break up with him.
That's true. Damn. Okay.
So you need to do it now.
Yeah, well, I have to make some plans and then do it. You know what I'm saying? I got to watch out for myself, too, as well.
Well, get yourself an apartment. Get going. Let's go.
Okay.
Get the hell out of there.
True. Well, what am I waiting for? I'm, like, at work right now, but, you know, who knows what's going to happen tonight. Let's try to figure this out for myself.
All right, get going, dear.
All right, thanks.
Thanks for the call. Here comes David on the Tom Leykis Show. Hello.
What's up, Tom? How's it going?
Going okay, David.
Good, good. Like, slam some knowledge on you. Just to let you know, I had a brother-in-law for the past 15 years that got divorced from my sister. He used to say exactly what you used to say, and I want to thank him, even though I don't talk to him anymore. But anyways, 31, 6-month relationship, slammed the prenuptial agreement on her, you know, just to see what she'd say. And all I said was, I keep my pension, you keep your retirement, and that was the only thing. No, the truth came out. She started saying, what, you don't trust me, you don't love me, all that stuff, you know. So pretty much what you say is true, Tom.
So did you kick her ass to the curb?
No, you know, I'm in that stage. You know that stage when you got to grab your balls and, you know, twist them up.
That's right.
But, you know, you do have an ally out there. I was listening to the AM radio and some Dr. Kook out there, won't say her name, but if you listen to that show for a half hour, you see how marriages are truly effed up. You really do. If you listen to her, half hour, you'll say, you know what, never want to get married. Just to let you know you got an ally out there. You know what I'm talking about?
Well, believe you me, I know from experience. I know from experience. This is why I know about marriage and divorce. I know what happens.
Yeah, Tom, just I'd like to say thank you. And if you could take me out tribal style, brother.
Here you go, David. on the Tom Leykis Show. Hello.
Hey, how you doing, Tom?
Doing okay, Joe.
Hey, I'm just calling to let you know, man. I'm 18 years old. I've been listening to you for about 6 months now. And you're my role model, man. You're my father, man. You honestly changed my life. I grew up in a suburban town. You know, always taught to be the nice guy. Started listening to you. Started being a jerk, you know. Started getting laid all of a sudden. You know what I'm saying?
That's right.
That's what I'm talking about.
That's how you get more ass than a toilet seat.
That's how you do it. You got to listen to Tom Leykis 101. I tell all my boys that. They don't listen, though.
Right.
All right, Tom. Well, check you later. Can you hit me with tribal style and blow me up?
Here you go, Joe. One 800-5800-TOM is our telephone number. Bill on the Tom Leykis Show. Hello.
Hey, Tom. How are you?
Doing okay, Bill.
First-time caller, calling from sunny Arizona. Just want to let you know you're the best thing to hit the valley since I've been out here.
Thank you.
I've been listening to you quite religiously. One thing I haven't heard, and I thought maybe you could shed some light for all your brethren in the West Coast. You've been married and divorced 4 times. At what point did the light bulb really go on for you that you just don't need to go back there to live your life and have a good time? Because I know you give some of your boys a hard time when they take the bait and fall on the grenade and get married or divorced once, but you've been down that road 4 times. At what point did you finally kick in and decide just to leave that all behind?
There came a time when I was married when I realized it was all over. And I realized I was tired of being criticized, tired of having to defend myself, tired of having to explain where I am all the time, or what time I'm coming home, or whether I'm coming home. I was tired of being wrong. One thing you notice, by the way, when you get married, when you first meet somebody, everything you say is funny, everything you do is cute, and everything you are is right. You are right all the time till you get married. Suddenly you are wrong all the time. Everything you say and do is wrong. It was right before you got married, and now it's wrong after you got married.
Why did you keep falling on the grenade, though? What was the enticement?
Well, I do think it has to do with growing up in a home where my parents were married for 40 years.
I got you.
That looked normal.
Right. I got you.
And I thought it was something with me. And there's something defective about me that I can't do that. So I kept trying. Hey, you know what? There's nothing wrong with me. There's something wrong with getting married. There's something wrong with the institution of marriage. As somebody once said, who's wiser than I, it's not an accident that you hear the words institution and commitment along with the word marriage.
There you go. Well, as being a well-spoken, I'm sure well-educated man, I commend you for seeing the light, and I just wanted to get some insight from a guy that's been down that road 4 times just when the light bulb went out. So thanks, and keep entertaining us and preaching the gospel in Phoenix. And if you take me out Kobe style, thanks to the beating that the Suns just gave them, we'd appreciate it, and keep up the good work.
Here you go, Bill.
This is about us. She's so special to me. You're the beats in my heart. You're the air I breathe. She's so special to me.
Tom Leykis. 1-800-5800-TOM.
I can't believe that men are so concentrated on women's appearance. I mean, come on.
Are you just finding this out now?
No, but to hear it on your show is, like, appalling.
The Tom Leykis Show.
Tom Leykis Show from New York City. 1-800-5800-TOM is our telephone number. Valerie on the Tom Leykis Show. Hello.
Hello.
Yes.
Hello.
Yes.
Yes. Hi, Tom. I was just calling because I'm probably one of your worst nightmares.
Why would that be?
Well,
You're having my baby?
Not yours, but somebody's.
That's my worst nightmare, dear.
No, it's my husband's of almost 18 years, and we're very happily married, and I think I take very good care of him, and he would agree.
So what?
In every way.
Dear, I said, so what?
Oh, well, so what? So he doesn't have to go anywhere else because he's well taken care of.
Well, wonderful, dear, but again, I don't really care if you happen to be an exception to the rule, and frankly, all I have is your word on that. But what do I care about that?
Well,
does that disprove anything I'm saying?
You're making such a generalization about...
Yes, because it's generally true.
Well, I'm sorry you had such a poor experience because...
It's not just me. 1 out of every 2 marriages in America ends in divorce. It's not just me, dear.
I guess that's true, but that's really, really sad because...
Well, I don't really care how sad it is. It's reality.
There's also 50% of us that are very happy and take care
yeah, but the point is, look, let me tell you something. If the odds were 1 in 2 that if I walk out my front door tomorrow morning I would get killed, I'd stay home. I don't care if it's a nice sunny day and somebody went to the park and had a good time. Not my concern.
Well, you know what, Tom? I have to say 90% of the time I agree with everything you say. I think there are a lot of pussy-whipped men out there that fall into the trap of marriage and getting sucked into these women who say they don't want to have kids, and then they put their things where they don't belong and they end up having kids and whatever. That's stupidity on their part. But just take into consideration there are a lot of us out there that are doing very well and haven't been burned. And
every other person who is married is not doing very well.
But every other person that is
No,
well.
they're just still married. There are plenty of people who stay married even though they're miserable.
Well, that's true, and they shouldn't.
So it's a lot more than half.
That's stupid on their part.
Well, that's right.
Right.
3 out of 4 ought to get a divorce.
Probably you're right.
Well, that's why I'm saying, why get married? Why do it? By the way, you and your husband could have moved in together and not gotten married, and you could be just as happy.
You're absolutely right. And
no need to sign a legal contract.
I agree. That is a technicality that...
No, it's not a technicality if you get a divorce.
That's true.
So therefore, why should a man do it?
He doesn't have to.
Right.
You know what?
I'm not saying he has to. Why should he?
Of his own free will. He shouldn't.
Why? No. You know what? You can buy a used car that's a lemon by your own free will, too. But you shouldn't.
That's true, too.
So what? You can do it of your own free will. Irrelevant.
Well, I just, as a man...
I'm on the 46th floor right now of a building above Times Square. If I want to, I can jump out the window.
That's true.
My own free will. I can just jump right out this window right now.
There's probably some women out there...
The fact that I can, does that mean I should?
No, absolutely not.
All right. So, yes, I'm aware that men have free will and they are free to get married or not get married. But why should they?
Why should a woman?
Because if it doesn't work out, you get money.
You know what? I've had other relationships